Hello, everybody, and welcome to Badge and Banter. I am Lieutenant Charles Whittington with the Lawton Police Department, and we are coming to you from Cameron University. They're allowing us to shoot the podcast Badge and Banter from their facility, so we do appreciate that. For those that don't know, Badge and Banter is a podcast for police officers, for the community, put on by police officers, and it lets us talk about our culture, our way of life, how we operate, how the Lawton Police Department operates, things you can learn about us, and kind of give you an idea of who we are behind the badge. Today we have some great guests. Thank you for being with us. We have Ashley Chapman, who is the Marie Deddy Sexual Assault Program Coordinator currently, and did a little research. She was a Red Cord Vice President in 23. Sane Exam Center Program Coordinator, and she did a YouTube documentary recently referenced to Sex Nation. It is how she got started with the Red Cord and how all that came to be. And so she's here with us today. We're going to talk about a lot of fun and upcoming topics. And then we also have Caitlin Gatlin, who is with us. She's the Communications and Marketing Manager of City Lawton. She started out as a writer for the Uvalde Leader News. She's no stranger to the podcast. She's been on a couple episodes before, and so as you know, she reported in Midland and Odessa, Texas, and in 2016 went to KSWO. But now, here you are with the City of Lawton and with us.
Great to be here.
So welcome, ladies. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, that's great. So did I get everything right on that, Ashley, or was I off a little bit?
So with the Sex Nation documentary, that actually is a project that we partnered with director Jakob Wiens when he put that together. And it basically is about human trafficking in the United States. So there's multiple contributors for that. He interviews survivors, law enforcement, prosecutors, former traffickers. So we were a small part of that, but yeah.
But still a big part in the grand scheme of things. I
Yes.
mean, you're for Southwest Oklahoma. So tell us a little bit about that as far as Red Cord for our listeners who don't really know about that.
Yeah, so the Red Cord, they are Southwest Oklahoma's anti-human trafficking organization. I was an active member up until 2023. I have such a busy schedule, though.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of had to, figure out what I'm going to do with my time in a wise way. So I did step away from the Red Cord, but I've been with the Red Cord since 2018. So it was a good chunk of my, the reason I got into advocacy, actually. But the Red Cord, they go around and they offer education and awareness, so more on the prevention side for human trafficking, not necessarily direct victim services. We did see some victims that would reach out to us, and we would assist them and help them in the ways that we could. But we go around the entire state of Oklahoma and offer support to law enforcement, to other advocacy agencies, schools, educators, anyone that's wanting to know what human trafficking is and how can they respond to it. So that's kind of the bulk of what they do is the Red Cord.
And then you guys in Southwest Oklahoma, at least, I know you do a lot of working with, I can say for the Lawton Police Department, you come and you talk to the academies, the new groups coming through about that. And so it's really good for our officers coming in who may not have any knowledge of Red Cord and what it's about and how you operate to get that just firsthand, like in the academy, day one, not day one, but off the bat, that 23-week cycle that we've got. You guys come in, you help. I know that you've helped with like we have our domestic assaults week and things like that. You come in and you help with those, do some acting and some other stuff like that as well. So it is a lot of fun for everybody to educate and learn together. You get to know the officers that you're potentially going to be working with and out there helping educate the public. So it's a great thing. And so that's one of many things. You said you're really busy. So after you went in 23, you're sought after, right?
I would like to say yes.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
The humble answer is I don't know.
No, you're sought after.
Yeah. So my current position that I hold, I work with Marie Deddy New Direction. So that is the domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking services. We formally cover Comanche County, Cotton County, and part of Caddo. So like the lower half of Caddo. So really with that, when I took on that position, it just blossomed into so much more than what I even could have imagined.
Yeah.
So that really has taken over my life when it comes to, my hours that I spend in the day and the night, because I'm on call a lot with that. But it's sexual assault, so it's a little deviation from sex trafficking in a sense, but it's really kind of the same thing.
Still in the same wheelhouse.
Exactly.
And to include that, as far as programming, you're working with Marie Deddy, so you're working with the sexual assault awareness program. You're coordinating that, but also with the SANE Center and the sexual assault as well. You branch off into that and into the Help Advocacy Center for Southwest Oklahoma. That's you wear many hats.
I do.
Under this one umbrella here. So, I mean, it's you're very busy.
I am, yes. Yeah. But it's all been fantastic work. I've been with New Directions since May of 23. So we're coming up on 2 years. But it feels like I've been there for 10.
Yeah.
They won't let me retire early, though, so I've asked already. But it's just fantastic. It's just really fantastic to see our community come forward when it comes to, like, our SANE program. Getting that up and running, getting our partner agencies like law enforcement, our DAs, the hospital, DHS, other advocacy agencies in the area, getting everyone together at one table for our SART meetings, the sexual assault response team meetings.
Yeah.
Reviving those and bringing that back. It's been incredible, the growth that we've seen. So really proud of the SANE Center specifically. We've had a lot of partnerships along the way to build that up, and it's really serving our community amazingly. And we've noticed that we've expanded even beyond the 3 counties that we're in. I mean, we're having people coming from way out west that are coming to our SANE Center because they've heard such good reviews about it.
Well, and then you mentioned we had a meeting the other day, and you were mentioning that you received word how well this one is running.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting praised nationally.
Yes.
For just the rural area, for the Lawton, Fort Sill community, Southwest Oklahoma, right?
So it's specifically, yes. So I was had a lengthy phone conversation with an individual from the International Association of Forensic Nursing. And when we were talking about our program, where we started and where we are today, she made the remark that we are the most functional SART in rural America that she has reached out to and talked with. And she said she's talked with many, and she's been in her position for a while, which is fantastic to hear.
Is a definite plus. And then the working relationship that you have with the Lawton Police Department is great. Our relationship with Marie Deddy and Red Cord and these organizations outside of law enforcement have always been going really well since I know that I can think of. But then to have somebody step in like for your caliber in this place and make this that much better, to knock the rust off of some of those older organizations or smaller ones that want to be a part of something, just don't know how. And for you to come in there and kind of put all those together like that mosaic and put all those pieces together, it's just great. It's fantastic.
Ashley, remind me when the sexual assault response team started.
So I believe it started years back.
So when was it revived? I remember going to several of the SART meetings well over a year ago, it seems like.
It would have been, I believe, 2022.
Okay.
I think is when the revision started. So it was brought back, and then Brandy Combs, she was the kind of one that was the go-getter to get it up and running again.
Yeah, and now these meetings are being held at City Hall, and like Ashley mentioned, we're bringing to the table different law enforcement agencies, partnerships with our with the tribes in our area, Marie Deddy New Directions, the Lawton Police Department. There are so many people coming to the table to advocate for the survivors and just let the entire Southwest Oklahoma community know that we're here for you and there are resources available to you. And so that's probably been one of the most incredible things to see, is so many different people from so many different walks of life come together to talk about some hard topics, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
And even when the SANE Center was kind of getting started, we kind of reached out to community members and said, hey, we need blankets. We need things like that just to make the SANE Center kind of Ashley, not a welcoming place, but a comforting place.
A trauma-informed, victim-centered location. So that's why we were really big on reaching out to our survivors. And, some of them didn't necessarily have the best experience when they went through their own sexual assault years prior. So we said, if you had a chance to go back and rebuild the space that you stepped into, what would that look like?
Because those people are still in that trauma. That's part of that. It doesn't stop. It's a part of that.
Yeah.
And they have to, you're right, there has to be some, I say type of closure, but there has to be some type of like a reprieve, like, all right, this is my new beginning. This is where I can start to get that assistance. This is where I can close this and move forward.
Yeah, there's chapters, right? In healing from sexual violence, we find that. And we are doing our best to make that transition from the moment that they're stepping in to get that SANE exam. We're doing our best to lay the groundwork for that transition to begin. It's like you are safe, you are believed, we care about you, you're valuable, and we're here to help you, right?
Yeah.
We immediately start with that messaging. So hopefully it's not going to, make all of the pain go away or all the years of healing, that's got to come, but it's hopefully making it start sooner.
And so just kind of thinking the recent happenings that have been going on with Mayor Booker's New Year's address, we had a big push for a Kids First initiative. And that was basically the idea of cleaning up Lawton from our streets to our parks and everything in between. And there are so many facets of the Kids First initiative, but part of that, that Lawton Police Department is heavily involved in, and so is the city, is this special victims unit. And what people need to, I guess, understand is whenever we say we're rebranding for a special victims unit, this isn't something that's brand new.
No. So the Lawton Police Department has always investigated these types of cases, these sexual assault cases, the just the awareness case, educating, things of that nature. I actually spoke with a retired detective yesterday. He came by and was picking up some information, and he actually trained me as when I came over to detectives. He worked kid cases and he worked persons cases and those crimes. Like I said, it's always ongoing. Those cases are there, and the Lawton Police Department has always had the training, has always had the hard work ethic for those cases, and you have to have that passion to work those cases because they're difficult. They're horrific cases to work. And then those officers are selected for detectives. Those detectives are selected to go to schools, and there's different ways to interview people who have been involved in a sexual assault or different ways to interview children. So with this rebranding, I think it does help now that we are going to be referred to as the SVU, or the Special Victims Unit. Right now it has a lieutenant and 6 officers. 2 of them are in special operations and the rest are in the criminal investigation division. But they're all skilled. They're all seasoned as far as what caseload they're specific in, which is the SVU. So I think it makes it a lot easier for somebody who is the victim of a sexual assault or some crime of that nature to identify with. And, hey, I need to speak with somebody from the SVU. It gives them that sense, that new chapter. Okay, now I know this is what I have to do next. A lot of times it's with any case, officers, and with you guys and with Red Cord, even with the SANE Exam Center, those nurses, this is what they see day in and day out. This is that case that they're working. This is the individual that's come in for their SANE exam. So for them, it is another day. But you have to have that empathy. You have to have that heart, that servant's heart, because for this person coming in, this is new. This may be the first time this has ever happened, and hopefully it's the last time that it happens. But those individuals come in, they don't know what to do going forward. For with us, it's like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. This next step. So if you get into that rhythm of this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, it kind of, makes you calloused to it. So you have to make sure to keep that open heart and that open mind and just listen and, use your active listening skills, talk to these people and let them know that it's going to be okay. And it's okay to not be okay. But To answer that, yes, the SVU is a great rebrand. I think it's a good stamp to put on there for us to have, this is who you contact, this is who we are and how we operate, but know that this is what we do and what we have been doing. So yeah, you are right.
And that those crimes aren't going to be tolerated in Lawton, period. The city manager made a point to say at the meeting yesterday that part of this rebranding, in addition, Charlie, to what you just said, is to let people know, again, that we're not going to tolerate it, and these cases will be prosecuted like they need to be in order to provide that justice. And
our district attorney's office is well on board. These cases, obviously, when they go to the district attorney's office, we don't, as officers, we don't decide the innocence or guilt on these. We're the fact finders and the truth seekers, and we present the best case that we can to the district attorney's office. At that point, they look through the evidence and they file what they can on that case. But they do take those into consideration. They do take the victim statements into consideration. They take all of that. So yes, it is great. We have a fantastic working relationship with the DA's office and all of the judges over there. Like I said, I think here in Southwest Oklahoma, and Ashley, you could probably echo this, our working relationship with all these outside agencies and entities, to include your own, I think is great. I think that everyone is doing a fantastic job. That's probably half the reason you get everything is going so well, because everything is going very well.
Yeah,
so
it is definitely. And, you know, when coming into this, you know, again, like I mentioned, we always didn't function the best, going back a few years ago, but one of the main things that I made a commitment to do is make sure that the people on the team were the people who needed to be on the team, right? And that meant that we had a shared goal, values, mission, you know, and we're not here for ourselves. We're not here for ego. We're not here, you know, for anything other than providing the best services possible to our victims and seeing justice get handed to those perpetrators.
Absolutely.
Right?
So also at the meeting earlier this week, and Charlie brought up the word mosaic, and love that, by the way. Ashley, can you kind of just share the conversation that you had with the board, the name that is currently the
Help Advocacy Center for Southwest Oklahoma?
Yes. It is a mouthful.
All of it.
It is a mouthful. So we've been looking at rebranding for a while. We reached out to a few graphic designers in the area, and, you know, they're definitely willing to help when we get to that point. But it was actually suggested by John Ratliff, was mosaic. And the idea behind a mosaic is it's a bunch of broken pieces of glass, right, that are put together to make a beautiful picture, beautiful window, whatever it might be. And the concept behind that is when you survive a sexual assault, you feel broken, right? The path, the plan that you had planned for your life has just been shattered. And oftentimes we hear victims say that they felt like they're worthless. They felt like they were beyond repair as far as the damage that they've sustained. They didn't really see a point. What's their purpose now?
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here, right? But the idea of a mosaic is you take those broken pieces and you repurpose them and you put them together and they make something beautiful. So you're not broken. You know, you're not worthless. You're not something that just can be thrown away now. We're just going to repurpose it. We're going to change the course a little bit, and it's going to be more beautiful than what you can have even imagined, right?
You're going to come out that much better on the other side.
So we would like to rebrand to Mosaic. And I am not a graphic designer, but I've tried to put some logos together, which is kind of embodying that idea. But, you know, we have such a diverse population here, especially in the Lawton Fort Sill area with the military. Lots of families come and go from East Coast, West Coast, North, South. So we really do have a mixture of people who unfortunately are experiencing sexual assault in this area. So I feel like that encapsulates the idea better than Help Advocacy Center of Southwest Oklahoma does. So yeah, we're hopefully going to be doing that this year, rebranding completely.
I like it. I like the idea. I like the drive moving forward, and I think that you guys are going to do really well with it. And Lawton Police Department, I can speak on for my half. We are here to help in any way that we can, and because obviously we're here to serve the citizens and the population of Southwest Oklahoma and Lawton Fort Sill, and hopefully we can be that beacon, or this is how it needs to be done. You know, you talked about kids first, and you talked about kind of the drive and where we're going from here. Do you guys have anything coming up? I know that upcoming is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and so you came to us in the last few months reference to the SVU. So tell us maybe a little bit about an event coming up.
Yeah, so whenever the city manager approached me about this rebranding, and that's when kind of the conversation started rolling with you guys at the police department. Part of this was putting on a ceremony to inform the public on what we were doing, and not only that, but take time to show people all across Southwest Oklahoma what services are offered. So we kind of started planning this informal type of event where we want people to be comfortable to come to City Hall on April 3rd from 5 to 7 p.m. You're going to listen to the city manager, of course, the Lawton Police Department, and our state SANE coordinator, Janet Chappell, about this topic, about sexual assault. And LPD is going to talk, of course, about the SVU, and Janet will talk about the Help Advocacy Center and how that came to be and where it is now. But again, what I'm most looking forward to is having, I think we're up to 9 vendors.
We were talking about that today, how many we might have.
So we're at 9, and I can pull those up, but they wide array of representation there at the event. So this is an opportunity to come out, just have the conversation. If you have any questions of our detectives, of the police department, of Marie Detty, of the health department, or
of the services of Southwest Oklahoma. What a great place to be, to have it all in one spot, kind of a one-stop shop.
Exactly. And again, this is going to be held on April 3rd to kind of kick off Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the banquet room of City Hall, located at 212 Southwest 9th Street in Lawton. And it's from 5 to 7. It'll kind of be a come-and-go event after 5:30, after all the speaking part is done. Really just looking forward to that networking part and sharing what services are offered.
Will there be refreshments?
There will be refreshments. Light refreshments.
Light refreshments. See, there you go, Southwest Oklahoma, light refreshments. And what a good way to network. We talked about it in the meeting the other day, and we've sent it out to multiple, I think over 88 agencies. So hopefully they'll be able to attend in some of those as well. I know the Sheriff's Department, some other ones have reached out to be able to network and find out what the city of Lawton, what Southwest Oklahoma, and all these agencies and networking, what we're all doing for you. Mm-hmm. And I think it'll be fantastic. I'm hoping for a great turnout and just get to know a lot more people that go into this.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, grateful for the Lawton Police Department and everything that, of course, y'all do, and, of course, Marie Detty, New Directions, and everyone who's simply just coming out to support. I think that it says a lot whenever you see a room full of people wearing the teal ribbons. Just supporting this topic is huge. And
then I saw you guys, I have mine over on the chair, but you guys have your teal ribbons. Those will be there as well. Probably first come, first serve, possibly with the light refreshments.
I can't remember how many we ordered, but yes.
I think we have like 200. So.
I think that the Amazon pack came in 200.
200, so there you go.
We'll have 200 there.
200 people. There you go. First 200 or first 185 maybe we'll get.
There you go.
We'll get a pin.
Although I admit, if we have 185 people there, I'm going to have to go get more fruit trays from Sam's.
So we know what refreshments we're having.
Oh,
light refreshments.
Light.
Can we have some Capri Suns?
Oh,
that brings in the people.
That's summer. That's summertime.
What do you? Cool Wave.
Man, now we're getting into the banter. So yeah, it's a Cool Wave. Is that the?
I have
no idea.
No. It's Pacific Cooler.
So I'm always worried that I'm going to stab through the pack and.
Yeah. But here's the real question. Whenever you finish your Capri Sun, do you blow it back up?
And make it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. There was a commercial in like the early 2000s. Okay, maybe not early because I wouldn't have remembered it, but later 2000s where the kids would blow their Capri Sun pouch up and then stomp on it and they would shoot up to space or something.
I don't remember that.
You must be too old. It's all right, Charlie.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll accept it. I'll accept it. Yeah. I've done my time. That's about right. So now it's time for the new up and coming, right? So do you guys fall into that category, right? The new up and coming, is that?
Are you talking about like a generation?
Well, I mean, just in general, a general generation, right?
I'm the youngest millennial possible, I believe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's always debate on where the age.
Where the
cut
year
off.
is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I believe, now I'm going to age myself. I believe from when I saw 95 is the youngest millennial you can be.
Oh, I'm almost there. I'm 94.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, anyway.
Then
It's
after
okay.
that's like Gen X and Gen Alpha. And all
So
that
there's
stuff.
a gap there. I know I'm 1982. So
Gen
X
X.
Xennial. There's a
I have never
Gen
heard of
X
that.
or Gen X or a millennial. It's like an Xennial. We're the last we were the last group to know what it was like without the internet, and then it came to be when we were around. So we did
Mhm.
both. We were the same ones that had like the keys around our necks and went home and got to go home by ourselves and
Latchkey kids.
latchkey kids and all of that. And we played out all day until the porch
Street
lights
lights
came
came
on, and then
on.
we came back. But there was always the commercial. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Mhm.
And so then they were like, "Oh yeah, we got kids."
10
You know,
p.m.
yeah. Well, my bedtime. I'm not going to get into all that, but my bedtime was earlier than 10 o'clock. I'll tell you that. So,
I
but-
would give a lot if my bedtime could be before 10 o'clock.
well, now,
Yes.
Now. Yes.
yeah, you appreciate naps
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
and all of that. So, Ashley, we kind of like the little back and forth, the banterness of this. We've talked about all of these events. I just kind of want to know a little bit more about you. I know on the documentary that I watched, the brief portion that I was able to watch, you were inspired kind of on this to get into this field, your passion from a Spanish teacher. So tell me a little bit of that.
Oh, the lore? You want the lore? Okay, so initially when little Ashley was growing up, I wanted to be one of two things, which is going to sound funny. I wanted to either be a lawyer or work in forensics, right? Well, I can't do math to save my life. So in order to do well in the forensics world, right, specifically with the science portion, you got to have to
A little
do
bit.
some math.
A little
yeah.
bit.
So then my next idea, and I kid you not, was to become a police officer.
We're hiring.
No.
You don't have to carry the one over here. You can apply and it'll be good.
I don't want to get hit in the face, and I don't want to go
Nobody-
to the gym. to be
Nobody
honest
wants to
with
get
you.
hit in the
I
face.
don't want to
I
go to
know.
the gym.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the gym. It's just to be honest
She's
with
like,
you.
more importantly, I don't want to go to the gym.
I grew up with 4 brothers, and I became very well aware that my physical strength is not.
Did they all around the same age? Did they roughhouse a lot? And
3
you were-
younger, 1 above. So yeah.
Were you just kind of stuck in the middle, or did you fight back with them?
I fought back when they were little, but I got my bluff in early. So when they all surpassed me, I didn't have to worry about.
Yeah, because they were like,
More.
"No, she's yeah,
Oh no, they could have thrown me for days.
yeah."
But no,
Just got to show them that you're feral,
exactly
younger,
Right.
and then later they won't
Exactly.
mess with you.
1,000%. So
Good for you.
I am a Chihuahua.
But come on, be a police officer. That'd be great. We are hiring.
But no, I continued, and then when when I graduated from high school, I did start to look towards the lawyer type thing, and I was working as a dental assistant at the time, and my high school Spanish teacher, Miss Cindy Evans, she reached out to me a couple of years after I graduated, and she said that she was starting an organization and wanted to know if I wanted to get involved, and I was like, well, what organization? She goes, well, I'm going to be doing human trafficking. I was like, you're going to be doing human trafficking, or you're going to be fighting human
Yes.
trafficking? And she's like,
Words
fighting
matter.
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So she told me what she was wanting to do, and I told her no. I wasn't interested. I had no idea really what human trafficking was, and I Googled it, and I was like, ooh, that looks, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But she was persistent, and so she invited me to come to a training. So I came to a training, Human Trafficking 101, with herself and the co-founder, Joe Mobley, and I was hooked by the end of the presentation. So I have an obsessive personality. So once I get hooked onto something,
You're in
I
it.
go deep, deep into it. And so I began to look into human trafficking more, saw that it was, not what the majority of people think it is, right? It's not the snatch and grab white van, getting sent off to Romania.
Mm-hmm.
It's much closer to home than what a lot of people want to believe, really. So I got into that. And like I said, I started working in that 2017, 2018, and continued that until 2023. But that really is what gave me a heart for advocacy. I kind of noticed early on that I had a stomach to handle some pretty detestable things and continue. A lot of people that I started with, I mean, they were in 1-2 years and then they were out because it's like it was taking such a toll on them.
Well, it does. And even if you don't think it, it takes a toll on you mentally.
Oh, 100%.
The same thing with the officers or these detectives that work these cases. I say that the shelf life for working these, some of them we worked them for a while, but I tell them, it's like, man, 2-3 years, and then put this on the shelf and work something else. Let somebody else come in and carry this torch. Mm-hmm. And you've done well. Good job. And then go do something else, because it wears on you. Mm-hmm. It wears on you. You take these thoughts home, you take these cases home, and then you don't want it to spill over to your family and to your home life. And so it's just a matter of taking care of yourself. So even with this, even with Red Cord, even with, the sexual assault programs and the SVU, you have to take care of yourself.
1,000%.
And if you can't help, if you're no good, then you're no good to anybody else. Mm-hmm. I mean, so you have to make sure that this 5-gallon bucket of emotion that everybody's going to carry, you just dump it out a little bit. You'll never get rid of the bucket. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna, but you'll be able to dump some of it out, and that way you can work some more. But
you got to have a support system, right? Because if you're not around enough people where they can notice those changes, because you're not going to notice those changes when they start, right?
Oh yeah, no.
The negative ones, because it's you're with yourself all the time. So I feel very blessed to have a big family, to have a good family. Like I mentioned, all those brothers, they have no problem telling me when I'm wrong on something or when they notice something is changing, which has really helped me over the years.
Are you receptive to it, or you're like, no?
It depends on how they do it.
Yeah. Words matter, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what do you do for your relief, for your stress, for your okay, I've got to get this out of my head. I've got to do this for a while. What are we doing? Do you just chew ice, or do you go on a vacation? Do you?
I got sensitive teeth and I'm poor, so neither one of those work.
Neither nor. Okay.
No, I really enjoy crocheting, spending time with family, being out in the mountains. I just actually recently moved to be closer to the mountains, so recently just got a little therapy dog a few months ago. So. Yeah.
Is that Charlie?
It's Mr. Charlie.
Aww.
Yeah. That was a little confusion in the meeting.
A little bit.
Yeah. Charlie, that's a good name for a puppy dog.
Well, my last name is Chapman.
Yeah.
Well, so Charlie Chapman with the black head bowler hat. I mean, there's so many levels.
Caitlin,
my God.
We are now all intertwined here. Go ahead.
Love Charlie.
See?
Love Charlie Chapman.
Yep. See?
Yep. Yeah. So
what a great name.
Yeah, thank you. Right?
I see what you did there.
See what you did. Yes, great name. When I think of Charlie for the puppy dog, I think of All Dogs Go to Heaven. Mm-hmm, and it's that's a tearjerker. But still, all in all, yes, good name for a puppy, good name for a human.
And Charlie was so well behaved at the meeting.
He's a good boy. He's a really good.
We're not talking about you.
That I was quiet. I didn't say a thing.
Dude, you were biting people and you were just all sorts of
he was the feral one in the meeting.
That's why the city manager was sitting right next to me. He was like, calm down. I was like, okie doke. So yeah. So how long have you had Charlie the dog?
I got Charlie back in December.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a few months now.
And he's a doodle.
He's a full-bred Moyen poodle, so a medium poodle.
Yeah. I found out what Moyen was as well. We just got a Moyen sheepadoodle, so Moyen's fancy for medium. Mm-hmm. And so he's a sheep dog / poodle. And so he's got the long hair, but he doesn't shed. And
is he hypoallergenic still?
Yes.
Awesome.
And he's got 2 different colored eyes. He's got a blue eye and a brown eye. So then we had him cleaned up and cut and everything, like pampered, and his paws and cleaned up. And so when you look at him now, it's kind of scary, his face, because there's no hair in front of his bangs, or like his bangs are gone, and you can see his eyes, like totally. So if you cover up, half his face, and you see this brown-eyed dog, you're like, oh, he's so lovable. But then if you cover up that brown-eyed side, he looks like he's seen some things, like You know,
Send
like
through
the
it.
old booking photo of like Nick Nolte, you know, that's just this old. And we're like, yeah, he's a good dog though. He's new. He's a pup. We got him in November. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Pet therapy, I have heard people over the years, talk about pet therapy and especially in advocacy, how good it is and whatnot. I'm not saying I was not a believer, but I was kind of skeptical of it. But really working in the shelter with this job that I'm in currently, I decided to give it a whirl because a lot of people, when they come into shelter, they leave their pet and they love their dogs or cats, right? We do have a pet shelter, but sometimes it's full and sometimes they don't have the vaccinations or it's a restricted breed, right? So I got Charlie, and he's been well loved. We'll put it that way.
Anywhere you go.
I take him on sane calls with me, and he has brought so much comfort to people. Like, he knows he's one of those dogs, which is perfect. Well, that's part of why I picked him. He's very sensitive to like people's emotions. So
we have a friend of ours that works at Moore PD, and she has a dog, and it's named Leo. And so she's a negotiator as well. So she goes on calls. She always has that dog with her. And you'd just be surprised. Even at just the conferences, we go there and we're sitting there, and Leo is just running around the either the church or wherever we're at, this big building. And then you'll just sit there and there's a guest speaker talking, and you'll see somebody's hand just go down and like pet Leo. And he just runs off to another spot and just let somebody pet him. And then he'll come back and he'll sit down, and they're bringing a dog, and I'm done. I'm like, all right, I'll see y'all there. I'll be over here petting this dog.
One study that I looked at when I was looking into doing the whole therapy dog, it showed, and I can't remember who did the study, forgive me on that, but just by having a dog or a cat, so some sort of pet like that present in a stressful situation, it lowers stress levels by like 30%.
Really?
Just by seeing them, not even touching, petting, and that helps even more. So
Can I pet that dog?
You can pet that dog.
I want to pet that dog. Oh, you didn't bring him with you. I was surprised.
No, today I had to run a lot.
That's okay.
But do you guys remember Charlie Bit Me?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't remember that at all. What is that? Yes.
So I'm just waiting for a little British child to come to me and say, Charlie bit me.
Charlie bit my.
Which he should
Honestly,
never bite.
Ashley, it might be a grown adult who knows it. I mean, next time I see Charlie, the dog, I might have to.
I like how in our conversations, since we have started this, it's like, oh, Charlie. Oh, now it's, okay, Charlie the dog. We have to make sure, because it's like, now when I see Charlie, he bites somebody, someone's going to see me on the street and they're like, which one? You?
The Spider-Man meme.
Yeah. Will he be at the SVU unveiling?
Yes.
My gosh.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, he enjoys it. He enjoys getting out. And which he's at that point where I'm still doing exposure. So I'm getting him used to a lot of different environments and just not reacting. Never had a problem with him, but still sometimes loud noises can make him a little bit skittish, and I'm like, no, we can't do that.
That's anybody.
Right. True. Yeah.
So just to wrap up real quick, give us some more the dates again for the SVU.
Yeah, so the sexual assault awareness event, unveiling Lawton Police Department Special Victims Unit, will be April 3rd from 5 to 7 p.m. in the banquet room of City Hall.
There you go. It's fantastic. We'll all be there, so we encourage everybody to come out. We encourage everybody to come see us. We encourage everybody to, come and be a part of it. And I know we've talked about that coming up. And then tell us about, you got some more stuff coming up down the way. We talked about that at the meeting too. A lot of the separate organizations in this have a plethora of things that are going to be coming up in the month of April.
Yeah, so the main things that we do are tying the ribbons. So some people will see them down the Gore median between 2nd and 11th Street. There's going to be blue ribbons, but we are expanding to, I believe, we're 8 cities now. Again, in Comanche, Cotton, and Caddo County. So we're going to be doing that this coming weekend, the last weekend of March. We're going to be doing that. We've got a whole army of volunteers that are going to come forward and help us with that, which is fantastic because we have 750 ribbons that we have to tie.
Are you having to make these yourself?
They come pre-made, but we have to pull them.
Have you pre-pulled? They come to your establishment pre-pulled, and then you have to pull them and then tie them.
Yes.
Okay. Are you having to do all this yourself? and then give them to the volunteers, or
Yes. So we've tried before to give the unpulled ribbons, and it's not worked because it's not. I think it's simple, but it's not necessarily.
And then they don't
simple.
look like you want them to.
No. So
you're that person.
Yeah.
Good for you. It is good. It's anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Absolutely.
And the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So good for you.
You can't do it right the first time. Then when you're gonna have time to do it again?
Yep, absolutely.
I have no time.
See, I like this. That's why you're sought after right there.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Efficient. We're taking applications. So tell us more about it. You'll be tying those.
Yeah, we'll be doing that, and then we'll taking them down the end of the month. We are going to be hosting a sexual assault support group for survivors every Monday throughout the month of April at 6 p.m. If someone is interested to come to that as a survivor, they would just have to reach out to New Directions and talk with our counselor to do an intake, and then you'll get the location of where we're going to be. So
awesome.
The hotline number is 24/7. It's 580-357-2500. And again, our counselor's name is Miss Denise Jackson. You'll just talk with her, and she'll make sure we've got space available and get you registered for that. We've got private events that we're doing, but another public event that we are advertising for right now is a community training that we're going to be doing. We'll be doing one at the Anadarko Community Library on April 23rd at 4:30. And the topic is understanding sexual assault, so how to support survivors in their healing journey. It is recommended for ages 13 and up. Survivors, support systems for survivors. If you're a family member and you've got someone who's gone through something like that, or you have a friend that's gone through something like that, definitely come on out. So that'll be in Anadarko for Caddo County. For Comanche County, we will be at the Lawton Public Library on April 25th at 4 p.m. Same topic. Presentation is about an hour long, and we'll be open for question and answers at the end. And I'm currently working on getting one in Walters, so we'll get one in Cotton County as well. And my date that I'm going for with that will be the 24th of April. So it'll literally be a bam, bam, bam. So 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Godzilla, you got a lot on your plate. It's a busy month.
It is a very busy month.
So you said you're looking for volunteers. You're always looking for great volunteers. Who would they have to contact to get to be able to volunteer? Like, because I know people are going to reach out and Charlie, where do we go? And I'm Charlie the dog or Charlie me. I was like, well, either way, we'll tell you where to go. Yeah.
So reaching out by that hotline and asking to speak with our director, Chandra Barnett. There's a process to become a volunteer, an official volunteer, just because of the sensitivity of the topic that we deal with and a protected group of clients that we work with. We want to make sure it's...
You have to vet people.
Yes,
make sure.
Absolutely,
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. But again, the number is 580-357-2500. You can reach out, get the volunteer packet, and go from there as far as coming on and volunteering with a lot of things around the shelter. But for tying ribbons, I think we are good. I think we've got a good crew of people. Now we'll see if everyone shows up.
Awesome. Do you have any closing remarks for the Badge and Banter audience? Anything? No, we covered it all.
I think I'm good. Thank y'all so much for listening. Charlie, thank you as always for giving us a platform to talk about any topic that we want. The banter here is always great, and the substance of the topic's always even better. So.
We always thank Cameron University too. I mean, without them and their support, this wouldn't be a thing. Thank the police department for letting us move forward with it, and I think it gives a very good platform about not only the police department and who we are and what we're about, but like I said, the surrounding networking agencies and the groups that we work with gives them a voice, gives them a platform, like you said. So thank you both for being here. And then everybody tune in next time. We'll bring you some Badge and Banter.